Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing the Stanley Cup Finals right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, the Rangers and Kings. Joe, thanks for being back with us.
All right, thank you, Peter. Yes, I'm doing this video. I see myself, man, I need to lose some weight. But hey, we certainly been winning.
All right, you have been winning. So give a quick plug for OffshoreInsiders.com. Tell us how you've been doing recently at your site.
Well, very recently in the past few days, so, but a nice baseball season, profitable during the NHL playoffs, and our bounce back in the NBA, not having its greatest year ever, but we're doing well in the NBA, and we've been around, had our 26th anniversary in the industry at OffshoreInsiders.com.
All right, let's get right down to it. Rangers at the Kings, and you know, this is an interesting series. I don't think many people thought that the Rangers would be here at all. The Kings are a little bit different. The Kings are always kind of a team that you're not surprised when they do well in the postseason and make the Stanley Cup. And I actually am proud to say that I bet the Kings to win the West at the beginning of the playoffs at plus I forgot what it was, 700, 800, something like that. So I'm happy about that. Here they are, minus 166. To win the series over the Rangers. They do have home ice, and you know, the Kings, they went to 7 with Chicago. They almost got a win in Game 5, though, in overtime, but they almost lost the series in Game 7, so that shows you how, you know, uncertain all these results really are. The Rangers beat Montreal in 6. They have 3 extra days of rest for Game 1 and for the series. How important is that? Not exactly sure. But your take on the Rangers at plus 150.
Well, if you remember, when we previewed the Flyers-Rangers series at the beginning, I said the Rangers were legitimate dark horses, mostly because they had a bunch of veterans that they got, you know, maybe a little bit towards the end of their career where they were supposed to find that fountain of youth with the Rangers. And so far, it's been pretty good. Obviously, Martin St. Louis, we all know about that story with his mother, but he's been playing well. Brad Richards is finally, after being a healthy scratch last year, is playing well. Rick Nash finally started to put the puck in the net a little bit, but I think what's been surprising, why Rick Nash has taken his share of heat, deservingly so, for the last 2 years in the playoffs, he's really been playing pretty well. He's had a lot of shots on goal. He's had some assists. He's played well in the defensive zone, and Henrik Lundqvist was one of those guys. We always knew that he had the talent, but he could never seem to get past those first 2 rounds. So now a guy that we always thought was one of the most talented goalies in the world, he's playing like possibly the best goalie in the world. So the Rangers are a mild surprise, but not really a humongous surprise. And yes, I think they are a live dog here for sure.
All right, yeah, let's talk about the Kings for a second, because normally the story with the Kings is that, you know, Quick is a rock-in goal, and that the reason they're going to be so tough to beat is because they're going to be so hard to score on. But that wasn't the case in the Chicago series. So what's your read on the play of the Kings at the current moment?
Yeah, Jonathan Quick has certainly been one of those box of chocolates. He's a stunning 7-0 in elimination games, but that means he's 5-9 when their backs are literally not to the wall. So yeah, he's had some tough games, especially early on in the series. We thought they were going to be eliminated in Game 1. I think really we could almost do a video on who has the goaltending advantage. Is it the Kings or the Rangers? This year it's certainly been the Rangers. To me, the ultimate tiebreaker is Jonathan Quick does have a Stanley Cup championship. So if I had to put a check mark in either department, I would probably say that LA does because of Quick. But the truth is, no question, the more consistent goalie has been Henrik Lundqvist this year. So you can make a very powerful argument that in 2014, and that's what we're talking about, that the Rangers have the advantage in goal because Lundqvist has been able to rebound from his off outings where Quick has had some stinkers back to back, and then it seems as soon as his back is to the wall when they're facing elimination, that's when he looks like the Jonathan Quick who won the Stanley Cup just a few years ago and has played well in the Olympics and in big games, etc. But yeah, they have been very inconsistent, but there's no question this year the King Henrik has been the most consistent goaltender in the entire playoffs.
So, you know, if the Kings win here, do you think it's because all of a sudden Quick is going to start giving up, you know, 1 and 2 goals a game, or is he going to be giving up as many goals as he gave up in the Chicago series, but the Kings are going to be able to outscore the Rangers just like they did to Chicago?
Well, I think the Kings, their strength here is certainly at center. The Rangers aren't bad at center, but they can't match up with Kopitar, Jeff Carter, Jarrett Stoll, Mike Richards. So the LA is a team that can score with the 3rd and 4th line, and actually the Rangers have done that too. Arguably their quote-unquote number 3 line has been their best line. But I think if the Kings do win, it's probably going to be because of their scoring depth and their scoring depth down the middle. If somehow I think the most unlikely scenario would be if the Rangers centers, I should say, actually score more goals, and then LA winds up winning. But LA's biggest strength is at the center of the ice, where they go so deep. There's no team in the league that has 4 centers of that quality. So I think that's really their strength. They do have some nice mismatches at the center position.
So then let's talk about betting value with the series odds. The Rangers plus 150 at Pinnacle right now. The Kings minus 166. You could also have Rangers plus 1.5 games at minus 165. And then we have our exact series results. Rangers in 7 is plus 542. Kings in 7 is plus 414. What would you bet if you had to bet any of these futures?
Well, the thing is that all but one series of these two teams combined have gone 7 games.
Yeah.
All 3 of LA's series have gone 7 games. The Rangers have gone 2 7-game series and then a 6-game series. I would say the exact result will be the New York Rangers in 7. Yes, we know that LA's been phenomenal in Game 7s. So is Henrik Lundqvist. So I will predict the Rangers in 7 games. And I'm a handicapper who likes to stick my neck out on the line. To me, predicting a team in 7 games is the safest thing, but that's my prediction. I would say the Rangers in 7.
All right. No, that's a plus 542 line right now at Pinnacle. And if you had to just bet the series, you would take the Rangers at plus 150?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised if they do wind up winning it in 6. Like I said, I think so many people have become obsessed with picking conference against conference. Everybody who knows anything about hockey does know that the Western Conference is the better conference, but it seems that so many people, when I've heard this analyzed, it's like the script was written before the playoffs began, that they were going to predict whichever team came out of the West against whichever team came out of the East. But like we said, the Rangers, their veterans are peaking at the right time, and King Henrik is finally playing to his full potential. So, yeah, I would say the Rangers would be the play, either 6 or 7 games but as far as to pick the prop, I would say in 7.
All right, what about this? Just looking over these odds, think about this for a second, Joe Duffy. Rangers plus 1.5 at minus 165, and you hedge that out with the Kings in 6 at plus 513. I didn't work out exactly how much that pays, but that's a pretty decent payout. The only way you don't win is if the Kings win in 5 or if they sweep.
Yeah, I mean, again, anything's possible. It's one of these cases where you could see a lot of 1-goal games, but it does seem to have a long series written all over, because both of these teams have made it interesting throughout the playoffs, and I do think they're more evenly matched than the odds makers indicate, especially considering that the Rangers are the more rested team. And keep in mind, the one series that the Rangers did have a rest advantage is when they won in 6 games over Montreal, where we talked about in previous videos, the Rangers had that bizarre scheduling dichotomy where they were the first team since 1989 to play 7 games in 11 days. And I think that hurt them in the first 2 rounds. But then when they finally were able to get their legs back, they were able to beat Montreal in 6. So, yeah, I do think that your hedge bet is a pretty good bet as well.
Well, Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, you're going to take the Rangers to win the series at plus 150, and your specific series outcome is Rangers in 7 at plus 542.
Yep, just like 1994, I guess.
All right. Thanks so much, Joe.
All righty, Peter.